When somebody has an amputation, for the first 24 hours or so, so this is post-op for amputation, right?
Yeah.
You have to remember that when you have an amputation, there's either, if you have the thigh right here, this is the foot, let's just pretend, okay, I can't draw that well, but you understand that the knee's right here. So if the amputation happens above the knee area, it's known as above knee amputation, right? AKA.
Yeah.
If it's below the knee, we know it's below knee amputation. We got that, right?
Yes, sir.
After they remove the extremity, we call it the part that's left over. Okay. We call that the residual limb.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Please understand that for the first 24 hours after this type of procedure, you must elevate the legs.
Oh.
Because there's going to be a lot of edema secondary to the amputation. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So you want to elevate it for the first 24 hours because you want to reduce the edema. That's very important. You also want to ensure that the nurse applies the right bandages around the extremity to ensure that the residual limb has like that teardrop shape. You want it to be in that particular shape because you want to get that residual limb into a prosthetic leg as soon as possible. So if you can imagine, the prosthetic legs have, I'm drawing it like if it's open, right? Like if you could see through so if you can imagine this is the prosthetic foot, you have to insert that in here. So there has to be a proper shape for it. It has to be molded. So understand that wrapping the leg throughout the day after the amputation is very important as well, because you want to keep it fitted so it can fit the prosthetic appropriately.
Okay.
Make sense, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. With that being said, after the 24 to 48 hour period, the patient will now be placed in a prone position several times throughout the day. Let me explain.
Okay.
When somebody has an amputation, and let's just draw like this. I'm just going to draw one so you could, okay, you have an amputation, right? You understand that they can move it that way, but they can't really flex it. They can't move it this way because the bed's in the way, right?
Yeah.
So what you do is you put them in a prone position. Right here, they're facing up.
Okay.
Okay. Right here, they're facing up. You want to put them in a prone position where they're facing down. Now they'll still have the little stump, have the bed like this, but now they can flex it that way.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that's going to really help out with the muscle movement and the circulation, and it's going to prevent any muscular contractions. So you put them in a prone position afterwards several times a day, whatever the doctor prescribes, so the patient can actually flex that leg and they can create more mobility, more circulation, so they don't develop any contractures. Does that make sense, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, beautiful. Any questions, sir?
I'm good, sir.